America is in a diseased state. The world is in a diseased state. America has many blemishes, flaws, and scars. But there are particular scars that they do not want us picking at. You bring up certain subjects, certain topics, and you'll get completely shut down. Words like anti-Semitism, conspiracy theorists, and terrorists are bandied about when you broach these subjects. If you're not asking yourself why, you are definitely a part of the problem. If you don't wonder to yourself why in 2021 there are still raids on your freedom of speech, you're one of those zombies they've been pushing on us since the 30s. Ideas of zombies, the living dead, or people walking around with no soul has been propagated since time began with the Nephilim, the children of the Watchers, and Satan's seed. The state of the world, the state of our existence, our entertainment, education, science, and medicine all spawned from these soulless entities spoken of in the Torah. What we call paranormal are nothing but abominations in creation from beings who were never supposed to be here. Those responsible for the planet as we see it today. Old, tired, and diseased. But there is a method to their madness, a reason to their dark, grotesque, abominable behavior. They first set about by terraforming our dimension or planet to be more suitable to their lack of melanin. This process doesn't happen overnight and doesn't begin to scratch at the surface of the end game. At this point, you should be asking, what is the end game? To destroy this realm, this dimension, this existence. They are the pushers of nihilism. Gnosticism. And transhumanism. They are the anarchists. Those who would have you believing that they're creating order out of chaos, when in fact it's just the opposite. They are a particular people, a group of demon-possessed human-like entities spawned from pure evil. A certain bloodline intent on destroying your soul. They are the cult of the serpent. They've been around for many ages, attempting to wreak havoc on the Most High's creation. Mostly, they've been hidden in secret societies and other social constructs around the world, including science, entertainment, music, language, and religion. To understand this brotherhood, we should first deal with their language and why they insisted on translating the Torah into the Latin and Greek languages. You see, Latin and Greek language is where their magic begins. Paraphrasing the Oxford definition of language, we see that language is a method of communication, either written or spoken, consisting of words in an agreed way, extending to a community or country. Our English language, which comes from the word Anglos, where we get angels, or fallen angel language from Mr. John Dees, is Germanic in root, and it extends from the Indo-European languages of Latium Now, language itself goes much further back than this. But for this topic, the Brotherhood of the Serpent, we need to explore the Indo-European languages. You see, letters aren't just motifs that form a word. There are secret symbolisms hidden in their construct. Again, this didn't start in Europe. In fact, the Greeks derived this idea straight from Kemet and their hieroglyphs. Kemet, a place where this dark, sacred magic can be witnessed in its full glory. Before Europe stole it and corrupted the world with it. Symbolism is not just about pictures. It is the substitution of an idea for a mark, symbol, or picture. A universally understood language by those initiated into this brotherhood. These symbols aren't just for grammar. They're hidden in synonyms, homonyms, syntax, and of course, speech. For example, the phonetically correct way to express man crossing the road is to use either the or the indefinite reference of a, as in the man crossed the road, or a man crossed the road. Have you ever thought, though, why is it that a and the are used to start most sentences? Well, let's deal with A. A is at the beginning in the same way it starts the alphabet. In fact, the word alpha in alphabet is referenced as the letter A. And of course, the B is for beta, or the bet in alphabet. If you look at the letter A in its capital form, you can't help but notice it is closely related to the capstone of the pyramid, or the Eye of Horus. This image, as well as the all-seeing eye, is a reference to the snake or the dragon. So the alpha, as in alpha male, has always been associated with intelligence and control. The alpha is a direct challenge to the Most High, who in Latin is the Alpha and the Omega, or the beginning and the end. I stress Latin because as the Torah was translated into the Greek, a lot of dark magic was hidden in the words. Why do you think Alfa Romeo has an image of a serpent or crown-wearing dragon swallowing a man? And the man appears to have an afro. Okay, maybe I'm pushing it, but you get the point. Also, notice the red cross. I'll touch on that later. But much like the A, or the alpha, or leader, or head of the pack, the alpha male sits at the top. The letter A sits at the beginning of the Indo-European alphabet. This is not a coincidence. Another letter with a symbolic representation is the letter S, which is the hissing sound of the snake, the animal for which the S represents. Also, the letter S has cloning powers, or the ability to pluralize a word into multiples. Look, these letters have far more meaning than we realize. The letter W is represented as water. And the letter M is matter, or mother. as the female through the matrix or her vagina brings that which is spiritual into a physical plane, into matter. The letter I is actually the number 1, or the column. With the root being kalu and kolo and kulu or kula. So you see, it's the dove or the kuluba in Greek that finds its way into the New Testament writings. Or think of Columbia Pictures. The District of Columbia was a man who so-called discovered the New World. Christopher Columbus. All bearing the root of Kalu or column or the I, the one. So when the Pope gave Christopher Columba or Dove his best blessings, it was the Vatican sending a dove out to find land. Remember, dove in Latin is columba. You think the Vatican, who uses Latin as a standard language, wasn't aware of this symbolism? The I, or the column, that kalu, the root kula, is where you get Dracula. The Latin word for snake is colubra. And I'm sure you can understand this is where you get cobra. So the kula, the Dracula, is rendered son of the dragon. It's all in the words. You see, the I, or the I-beam, or column, stands for strength. All symbolism, man, buried in the capital form of the letter I. It's all symbolisms. They're not just letters. The lowercase I is the sun, or literally the little one, with the sun over its head. This is the brotherhood of the serpent. So the I am can be rendered as power over matter. Now, I don't want you to think I'm attacking Torah. I'm not. I'm attacking the Greek language where we get our translation. The Proto-Indo-European language family belongs to the Brotherhood of the Serpents. Our English language is their crown jewel. We're trapped inside a prism that involves their religion and their language. Another example is the word adder. Which is another word for snake, and is a Proto-Indo-European word. Well, it comes from the Proto-Indo-European word natur, which means snake from Old High German, or natra, or natur, which is eerily similar to the Kemetic word for gods, which is natur, or netter. I'm not making this up. You can research this yourself. When we look at words like mother and father in their Proto-Indo-European form, we see the Greek form of father, pater, and mater, or mater, for mother, and pater for father. But you also see the adder buried inside both words. Brothers and sisters, this is real. It's occultic, and it is their religion. The brotherhood. The word the, which also starts many sentences, is even more sinister. First off, the letter T represents deity and begins the name Tammuz, the solar god son of Nimrod, of Babylonian fame. Furthermore, Theos, which comes from Dios, means God in their serpent language. Also, you'll notice the letter T looks a lot like the cross, a pagan symbol that made its way into their Christianity. This is all about their pagan religion based on their serpent brotherhood. So the reason the is at the head of so many sentences and comes before so many nouns, just like a, it's because from the root the, you get theocracy, which is a government ruled by priests or religion. You get theophany, a visible manifestation to humankind of God or gods. Also, theology, theosis, to make divine. And of course, we have Theotokos or Theotokos, which means the mother god. Brothers and sisters, the magic that the heathen use is hidden in their very language. This is what the Most High was talking about when he spoke of a pure language in Zephaniah 3 and 9. This verse is actually deep. It's all in the language. We need to come together and thoroughly research this. I know earlier I mentioned the Red Cross and the Alfa Romeo logo. The color red is very significant when dealing with the heathen, and especially in dealing with the cult of the serpent. In occult worship, the color red is symbolized by the red planet Mars, who is the god of war. Remember, Jacob's brother Esau, who is Edom, which literally means red, was to accomplish every feat by war, meaning he was to live by the sword. So, for Edom, the color red takes on a new sort of significance. The color red means a lot to Edom. Almost spiritual. You have to understand, for this magic to work, it has to have consent. Especially from the children of the Most High. So they parade this stuff right in front of our face. They tell you what's going on. in so many ways. We're just brainwashed or in cahoots with it. There is no in between. The Red Cross can be witnessed throughout history, and even playing a role in our enslavement. Christopher Columbus's ships carried the Red Cross. You see the red rose of the Rosicrucians the red shield of the Salvation Army, and of course the Rothschilds, the red carpet, which symbolizes their bloodline. And to any brother who's ever been to the Penile, what is the one color you cannot have? Red. So the point I'm trying to make is that red is a special symbolic color to this dragon reptilian cult of demons. Then you have the red, white, and blue, which was stolen by the Freemasons straight out of Kemet. That in itself is a whole video. Just know, any country you see associated with the color red, Esau is around somewhere. You can't really go by race, although the bloodline in charge today is definitely Esau. In fact, since Charlemagne, the rule of this system has been in the hands of the Edomites. Even as the Moors conquered Spain, the Most High had a plan to put secular control into the hands of the Gentile, heathen nations. Their bloodline is secured and particular and watched over by the Red Cross. So it's not every European you see. It's not every anything. But it's certainly a small cabal in all the races. Look, there's a lot here to research. I just want you to know the knowledge we think we have, the religion we think we belong to, and for some of us, the God we pray to does not belong to us. It's okay to have knowledge, but more so, we've got to let the Spirit tell us, lead us, and give us sight. Leaning on your own knowledge may make you book smart. It may make you look smart to the publican. But it is foolishness to the Most High. Peace.